This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2019 Freedom Pilot Express by Coachman. And the model number is 19FBS. Okay? So this isn't a floor plan or a sales video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. Okay, so it's especially for people who aren't that familiar with RVs. So I pretty much go over the important stuff here. So obviously you have stabilizers here, and these are scissor stabilizers, and it takes a 3/4 inch crank or a 3/4 inch socket on a drill. Either one will work. Most people seem to use the drill now because people carry them with them anyway. It has a crank right there. So, but you can use a drill with a socket also. Make sure it's a 6-point socket so you don't strip it off. So this is just TV signal out with power, so you can put a TV outside. You've got a power awning with LED strip, 2 outside speakers. Now this is the vent for the range hood. So obviously above the range there's a range hood. If you turn on the fan and you want to vent to the outside, you got to pull this baffle open so it flaps freely like that. Just when you're doing that, otherwise you can just keep it shut when you're traveling, that sort of thing. But if you don't open it up, it won't vent properly to the outside. That's just a furnace vent there. This is a hookup for, excuse me, a solar panel to charge the battery if you wanted to purchase one. This one's made by Furion, and this is, I guess it's a proprietary plug, but and it goes right to the battery, and you can charge it on a sunny day if you need to. And the panel you purchase would look like they usually fold in half like a suitcase. Okay, so while we're looking in here, this is your table, stores under here. There's also another here. So you got plenty of that. You see your power cord all the way down there and your dump hose. Okay. You have a power tongue jack. This power tongue jack obviously has a hitch light in it up and down, but also if it was to fail, you can pull this rubber plug out of the top here, and you can use the crank, stick it on there and crank it manually to up and down, so you can always get hitched and unhitched no matter what. You can also use your drill with a 6-point 3/4 inch socket also. So you got 2 LP tanks, deep cycle marine battery, spare tire. Okay. Now, when it comes to the water system, the most common way to get water to the trailer would be this right here, the city water hookup. So you're just going to put the hose on there, turn it on, and you're all set. Now if you're going to a campground that doesn't have plumbing on the campsites, like some of the older state parks for example, you can either go to the fill station or take water with you, whatever you need to do, but you would pre-fill the fresh water tank right here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. It'll work just like you've got city water. Also under here there's a drain, if you can see that. A lot of this stuff is self-evident, but I'll go over it anyway. Now, these are your dump valves here. You got your black valve, which is toilet water and waste, and you got your gray valve, which is sink and shower water. So generally you dump the black first, and then the gray, because gray is cleaner water than the black water. But either way, after you dump the black, you leave the valve open. You have to leave the valve open, then you hook the hose at the dump station under here, excuse me, turn it on, and it'll flush out your black tank. It'll spray off the sensor so you get a good reading, that sort of thing. So if the dump station has a working hose that hasn't been run over or anything, you can put it on there and flush it out. Now this is obviously where you hook up your power cord. It's a 30-amp cord. We give you a reducer to reduce it down so you can plug it in at home if you need to. Cable and satellite through to the inside of the trailer. That's just a sprayer. A shower for kids and dogs and feet and bicycles or whatever you got. And of course this is the service panel for the refrigerator. You don't really have to access this, but this condensation line should always be out just like it is, so it drains to the outside. This is your water heater. Okay, the tank is right in the back of it. It's attached to it in the back. Right now this trailer is winterized, so it's has antifreeze in the system, the water heater's bypassed, and it's empty right now. never run the water heater on either gas or electric or whatever you're going to do. You never run it without water in the tank. Always make sure it has water in it. You can see this is drained right now. There's the hole where the drain plug goes. That's the drain plug, just this nylon plug. So that's how you'll drain it out. So keep in mind it's bypassed, and before you use this, before you turn it on, you got to flush the system, open the bypass valves right after you put the plug in there, and you can fill it right up. Okay. All right. The switches are inside the trailer. I'll show you those when we get in there. Okay. Let's go inside. Excuse me again. Thought we beat winter, but here he's back again. Okay, so this is the refrigerator. It's a gas absorption refrigerator. Here, let me start up here. Sorry about my camera work in advance. So basically, that's on. And right now you can't see it very well, but auto's lit up. That's what you want to do. You can dedicate it to gas like that, or go auto. Auto means electricity. Electricity takes parameters, so it'll always seek out 110 AC, and if he finds it, it'll operate on 110 AC. If not, it'll switch over to LP gas automatically, so you don't spoil your food. For example, let's say you're going away for adventuring for a day, and you leave early in the morning, but the campground power goes out. It's a hot day. It'll sense that and automatically switch over to gas, so you don't spoil your food. The other thing to know is how you set the temperature. This uses a device called a thermistor. You can see there's that little cord there, or wire there. It goes up into that clip, like right here. So if you look at the sticker, it says the higher you go, the cooler it gets. So you're basically going to have this up all the way. Now the thermistor is just a cylinder on the end of that wire, and it's stuck in the clip. It can be pulled loose. If you ever pull it loose, just pull the clip off the fin, put it back together, and stick it back on. Nothing really holds it into place except that clip. So basically you're going to use it like that almost all the time. Now if it starts getting cold outside and you find out you're frosting up, things like that, you can always back it down, but 9 times out of 10 it's going to be up all the way, and it'll be on auto. Okay, one other thing over here, this device down here is the power converter. So what this does, it converts AC to DC power. So we open it by pushing that right there. Okay, so down here, when we're plugged in, we've got AC power, just like regular household current, and it's these are circuit breakers like you'd see at home, and they're all labeled down there. Okay, then the power's converted to 12 volt DC up here. You got 12 volt fuses, and they're labeled. Okay, if any of these fuses were to blow, you can actually see them glowing through this plastic. Also, these two here, which won't glow, but these two here, these 240s, those are the masters. So if, let's say you get a wild power surge or a lightning strike or something, and your 12 volt side goes out, just go straight here and look at these 240s, because if they're doing their job, they will blow to protect the system. So the odds are that that's exactly where the problem's going to be. So keep that in mind. So you can carry a few extra fuses with you if you need to, a 40 and a couple 15s, whatever. Now another thing about this, it's also a battery tender. So it'll sense how much energy your battery up front has and needs, and it'll send in just what it needs to get it charged up. If it's already topped off, it'll just trickle a couple amps to maintain it. If it's low, it can send 10 amps or whatever it needs to send. So it'll always keep your battery charged. Now when you're towing it down the road, the alternator on your tow vehicle will charge it. When you're plugged in, this charges it. Okay? Okay. Now, your slide room is in right now. So we're just going to go to this button here to out. We're running strictly on battery power right now because I'm not near an AC plug, so there you go. Okay, so this couch jackknifes into a bed, so you can make it into a bed. Of course, you have your regular bed there. You have the tables inside the front compartment that I showed you. All right. This is your furnace thermostat. It's very simple. It shuts off to the right. So all you're going to do is click it to the left. It's tough to click it. It's real tight, but it'll click to the left, and you set the temperature down here, and you're all set. Just analog thermostat. Now this is your control panel. You have your water pump right there. Remember I told you the water pump, you can pump fresh water out of the fresh water tank when you're someplace without city water. So that's what you'd use that for. Plus you use that to winterize the trailer. To light your water heater on gas, like that. To turn on the electric heating element, you go like that. Never run it without water in the tank. And then of course you have your batteries fully charged. Gray tank is empty. Freshwater tank is empty. Black tank is empty. As it fills, they graduate up in 1/3 increments. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray in the black tank. Okay. All right. So this is just a cooktop. It works like any other cooktop. You have to light it with a lighter. It's best to use the grill lighter, so you know, and you just light it, turn it on and light it. This is the range hood vent. Remember I told you about, or the range hood, I'm sorry. Remember I told you about the baffle on the vent on the outside. Make sure you open that up. You see it's on your fan and then light. Okay. Microwave works like any other microwave. You actually have a fireplace in this one, and this should all have remotes. So I didn't prep this. Let me look around here. Yeah, there's a bag of stuff, so there's going to be some other ones here somewhere. Just give me a second. Not that way. Let me look at here again. Oh yeah, they did miss it. So yeah, it has remotes here. That's the fireplace remote there. This is for your radio, and this is for your TV, obviously. So, I'm not plugged into AC power, so I can't turn it on for you. But the good thing about it is it runs on AC power, so you've got a limited supply of LP gas, right? So if you just want to run this to take the chill out, you can do it. It works fine. It has a fan speed, 2 different fan speeds you can set on it. You can change the appearance of the fire, that sort of thing, and it's a really good space heater. Okay, now this over here is your radio. Obviously you can play discs, CDs, and DVDs. There's the slot there. You can also has a USB port. You can use Bluetooth, stream wirelessly with your phone or tablet. It has a, let me see here. It has 2 speaker zones, Zone 1 and Zone 2. Zone 1 is inside the trailer. Zone 2 is outside the trailer. So there's a lot you can do with it, of course. And there's your TV, obviously. Always make sure if the TV is locked into place. If it doesn't have a lock, this one probably does, yeah. So that should be fine then. It does come with a strap, so I guess when you're traveling you should strap it, just to be safe, I guess. So the rest of this is self-evident, just lights and that sort of thing. That's your furnace there, by the way. That runs on propane. The space heater, the fireplace / space heater runs on 110 AC. Okay, so bathroom works like any other RV bathroom, sink and shower. This is a GFCI right here. All the plugs in the trailer, including the one outside, are wired through this GFCI. So keep that in mind. That's where we reset it. You see the pink there? That means there's antifreeze in the system. This is the flush pedal on your toilet. So the thing is, the black tank is directly below, right? So once you hook up your power and your water at the campsite, you're going to come here, you're going to put 1 dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you're going to step on the pedal, and because water's hooked up, water will come swirling out and go into the black tank below. So you stand on the pedal long enough to put about 1 gallon of water into the black tank and the chemical you put in there, and you should be good. You never run it without chemical and water in it, because the smell will be terrible and it could get clogged up. So keep in mind, if you were going to stay at the campground for another week, let's say, but you had to flush or dump your black tank, you dump it, and then you come in here and repeat the procedure. Dose of chemical and about 1 gallon of water. You can use more than 1 gallon, it's up to you, but that's a base point anyway, okay? And of course your vent. Always run the vent with the shower too, because you want to pull the humidity out. Also, if you have a bunch of people over and it's the time of year where you're starting to get condensation from your breath and things like that, you can always run this and it'll pull all that out. You won't have any issues with it. Okay? So let me look around, see if I forgot anything. I think I pretty much got it. Yes. There's also a detector here. Okay, there we go. This is the carbon monoxide and LP gas detector right there. It's green. It should always be green. If not, get it serviced. If it goes off, you just take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, and figure out what's going on, okay? Never ignore it, never disconnect it, and if it's not green, get it serviced, okay? Alright, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I told you, or please remember to inspect your roof every 90 days. That's what the manufacturer states. So somebody needs to go up there and look around at all the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation. Also look at the roofing, the attachments to the roof, the vents, that sort of thing. The roofing material, make sure that none of it was damaged by low branches or road debris flying up there. You have to inspect your trailer roof. It's very important. Many people don't, but it's the best way to protect your investment and make sure it's nice and dry for the length of its existence. So make sure you inspect it every 90 days. Okay. The other thing is right now, like I stated earlier, this is winterized, so there's antifreeze in the system. The water heater isn't bypass valve. The bypass valves are on the back of the water heater, if you don't know. If you do want to do it yourself, you have to sort of educate yourself. There's plenty of good YouTube stuff out there, that sort of thing. And the water heater is also drained, so keep that in mind. So other than that, we're all set, and like I said, thank you very much.